Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In this one, we're going to be unboxing and reviewing the Sokani X60 COB LED light. So I've got the brand new Sokani X60 COB LED light with me here today. Sokani is a relatively new player into the market for LED lights. They had their previous model, the Sokani X21 small LED panel. That was really popular. It was a lithium ion powered small LED light, perfect for video or run and gun setups. For a review on that one, take a look at our video that's linked up above. So this one here is actually one of their latest models. It's a brand new model. It's a COB LED light. So COBs are chip on board LED lights that are sort of like a one head LED light, a continuous light. Think of lights such as the Aperture C120D2, the C300D2, and Godox's SL60W range. So this one here is something similar to that. Let's take a look and open up the box to see what's included. So it comes in this brown box here. You can see there's got the Sokani branding there as well. And first thing that we see here is the Sokani bag. So it comes in this nice little carry case. You can see it's black. It's a sort of padded case. It's made out of just the standard sort of bag material, and also just got some blue accents here with the zipper. You've got this carry strap here, and it's relatively long because there's also some straps at the top here that allow you to feed through some stands. So this is a single light in here, so perhaps a stand also inside. When we open this one up, and we have a little pouch at the top here. So this is just a zipper pouch. It's got a sort of mesh material here, and inside you've got an AC adapter, and you've also got some AAA batteries. There's also a little international adapter here because we've been sent the US version here. And you've also got the X60 instruction guide. Now the good thing about this power cable is that it's actually just a figure 8 cable. So if you have another figure 8 cable that's suitable for your region, all you need to do is just swap it out. So this power adapter here is compatible from 100 volts to 240 volts, so it's international. You can use that virtually anywhere. And here we've got a little lanyard and just a little QC card there. And you've got some padded material here. So that's just a little padded cover for the top of the case here. You've got some of these buckle straps here, and that allows you to sort of, when you open it up, the actual top doesn't just fall down, and you can adjust that as well, the length. You've got the shoulder strap here as well. That's for the bag. So you've got two shoulder strap loops on either side. So that's good, they've included that one there. And opening it up here, we've got the light itself. So the light in this little bit of plastic. And there we have it. So that's the Sokani X60 light there. It's a nice little light. It's actually a lot smaller than I expected. A lot smaller than some of the other COB lights on the market. So you can see there's the COB. It's a really sturdy make and build. It's made out of this aluminium material. And you've also got a lot of laser cutout here at the top and bottom, so that allows for better heat dissipation. So let's look at that light closely. We'll have a look at what else is in here. We've got a remote control here. So this is a relatively large remote control. So that's that one there. That's larger than some of the other remote controls on the market. So you have Aperture lights which have a smaller remote control, and even Godox lights have smaller, slimmer remote control. So this is quite a large remote control. I can see they have many other different buttons on here. You've got color temperature changing, you've got effects. So we'll take a closer look at what that does soon. And on the side here of the compartment, we've got a reflector. Let's take a closer look at this reflector. So they've included some sort of padding here and bubble wrap just to ensure that it doesn't get damaged. And there's the reflector there. So it's a Bowen's reflector. The light itself is Bowen's as well. And on the inside here, you can see there's sort of this mesh sort of design on the inside of the reflector here. So that allows the light to focus a little bit more. So this reflector, it appears to be a little bit more narrower than the standard 7-inch Bowen's reflector. So we'll explore that shortly as well. So that's all that's included inside. let's set up the light and have a closer look at some of the features as well as how to operate the light. I've got the X60 set up on a mini desk stand here. So the mounting bracket or the yoke bar here actually has a standard 5/8 inch spigot fitting, just like every other lighting source and LED light that's on the market. And what you can see here is it's a single yoke bar. So going through some of these physical features, we've got a single yoke bar here. And a single yoke bar is really good because it sort of allows the light to maneuver in many different positions like that. You don't have a full 360 rotation, so some other lights do on the market, but this one here, you can see you can tilt it upwards or downwards, and you've sort of a little bit restricted with the bottom of the yoke bar here. But the good thing about this is you've only got a single knob to adjust the tilt of the light rather than having two on either side to do that. And your light stand fitting here, there's two configurations that you can use. Firstly is the standard upright position there, and you've also got another hole here for a 5/8 spigot that you can mount horizontally. So if you wanted to mount the light this way, you can also do that too. So if you're shooting top down or you have it elevated on a C-stand or a boom arm, you can also use that. Now, there's also a umbrella fitting here. So on the side, you can see there's a small knob where you can feed through an umbrella and use that as a lighting modifier for the light, as well as the Bowen's fittings that this particular light supports. So some of the features of this light in particular, firstly, it's called the X60, but it's actually an 80 watt light. So slightly stronger than the likes of a Godox SL60. And this one here, you can see it's really small in terms of form factor. So it does pack a lot of punch for its size. So the light itself is quite powerful. It's actually rated at 3000 lux at 1 meter without the reflector. So when it's just like this, and with the reflector, it's actually 17,000 lux at 1 meter. So quite a lot of output, especially when using the reflector itself. Now, obviously it supports Bowen's modifiers, so you can mount all sorts of Bowen's modifiers such as softboxes, barn doors, reflectors, snoots, a whole bunch of different accessories. And it is a COB LED light here. So you've got that single light source for your LED light, which is great because it's a more concentrated force of light. Now, this light itself is color temperature rated at 5600 Kelvin plus or minus 200 K. So that's your natural daylight color balance and color rating. So that means you can pair it up with the likes of other LED lights, whether it's a Sokani brand one or if it's some light from a different manufacturer or brand. You can actually set it to 5600 Kelvin and use it in a bunch of different lights. So also you've got a CRI rating of 96 plus and a TLCI rating of 95. So all these features are really high quality features for such a small light and at a great price point. So here in Australia, it's priced at about $280. And I believe in the United States and North America, it's priced at about $160 US. So that's actually quite competitive pricing when you look at other lights in the similar in terms of features and also its form factor and size. Now, some of the other features of the light, so there's the Bowen's mount there, you've got that release and locking knob there. And on the side here, you can see there's just some branding, and you've also got a control handle here that you can control the light positioning. And that's made from aluminium or the same material as the casing here. And on the back here, now just going through some of the menu options, you've got a dead switch here for your on and off. So it's right now we've got it plugged into the provided wall adapter. It's a DC adapter and it's 15 volts. And once that's plugged in, you can turn it on and off there. So Sokani are releasing a battery plate that you can plug in. So it's basically going to be a DC plug that connects to an NPF battery plate. So that's great to see that you'll be able to support this with battery operation, and when it's competing with the likes of something like a Godox SL60, which is one of the more popular lights in terms of its price point and output. This light here has a little bit more features in terms of the battery operation, and it also has some effects which we'll go through shortly. So you got your dead switch here, we'll turn that on. And you can see there's an LCD screen that just displays the power operation. So right now it says DC. It also shows that there's a fan that's operating. So there is an internal fan here. You can see from the top or bottom here that there's a heatsink as well as a small fan. Now these fans, they kind of look like small PC fans, so fans that you'll see inside a PC if you ever open one up, something that cools like a graphics card or perhaps a CPU. So it's quite a small fan, and there's not a lot of audible sound that I can hear I'm right next to it here and it's really quiet, so but if you leave this on for prolonged periods, I imagine the fan speed sort of gets a little bit faster. Right now it also shows the temperature, and that's 27 degrees Celsius, and you've also got channel and group there as well. So right now it's set to channel 1 and group A. So there's 6 different groups and 12 different channels that you can operate from. So that means you can control groups of these lights all together. You can control them via the remote that's included. And over here, we've got 4 buttons and also just a dialing knob here. So the dialing knob here, you can see it starts at 1%, so there's no true 0%. The actual light itself is on. So if you want the light off, you basically just have to turn it off with a dead switch. And right now you can go up in 1% increments, which is great. So there's better fine tuning for your light, and all the way up to 100%. There we go there. So it operates from 1 to 100%. Now you can see CCT at the bottom here, as well as the color temperature rating. So the CCT button actually doesn't function at all because this particular light is a single color. It's only 5600 Kelvin. So the fact that they do have this button here means that no doubt they'll be releasing a bi-color version, perhaps one that goes from 3200 Kelvin to 5500 Kelvin. So this button here itself is actually, pretty much pointless. There's no operation for it for this particular model, which is the 5600 Kelvin. Now at the top here, you got channel and group. So you just press down on that and it highlights which one you want to change to, and then you use the little wheel here to control the channel or group that you want to set it to. So you just need to pair that up to the remote control. Just make sure that they've got the same channel and group. And when you press that again, it goes over to group and highlights that. Now you've got trigger lock as well. So trigger lock is basically just a lock there, a lock symbol that comes up to make sure that if this remote is pressed and any of the settings are changed, then you can't press it. When you actually go on to turn on your remote, it actually has a little lock indicator as well. So that shows that you can't just accidentally hit something or press a button and change some of the settings there mid-shoot or while you're shooting. And hold that down again, make sure we can jump into it. Now we've got the CCT button, which I mentioned it's inoperable, and you've got the effects button here as well. So you've got 5 different effects to choose from, and when you hold down on the effects button there, you need to press down on the button that's at the center of the twist knob here. So when you press down on that actually changes the frequency. So you can see it highlights the frequency. So right now, the little icon pretty much shows you what sort of effect is happening. So which one you've got selected. So this one here is lightning. So when the intensity is highlighted, you can go ahead and change the intensity of that effect, and then press down on the center and change the frequency of the effect as well. Now you can just cycle the effects, and the next one is fault bulb. So if you're in the effects mode also, what you can do is to get out of the effects mode and just to go back into the light mode, you just press down on the CCT button, and that one there jumps straight into just the standard controls for the light. So there we go, we just put that on 1%. Now in terms of the remote control is quite large, so you can see there it's called the RC1. We'll turn that off. And the on-off button here at the top is sort of only for the remote control. It doesn't actually turn the light on and off. So despite the light being on here, I've only got it on 1%. If I press the on-off button on the remote control, it doesn't actually turn the light on or off, which is a shame because some other remotes on the market for other lights do that. And it's good to be able to control your lights, wirelessly. So this remote control gives you 50 meters range. So what that on-off button really does is just turn the remote on and off. You can see there it turns the LCD screen off and switches the remote off. And you've got pretty much all the same little icons here on the top of the LCD screen. So you've got the fan indicator, you've got the battery. The battery here shows you the battery capacity or how much battery you've got left on the AAA batteries that are inside, instead of the DC that it's showing on the light itself. You got the fan operation, you got channel group, you got the intensity, and you've also got the color temperature rating there. So when we switch that on and we turn the light on, we can control things like jumping into the effects, going back into your color, your standard mode, and controlling the intensity of the light, and also just hitting the channel on group, changing those over, as well as pressing the trigger lock to lock the actual remote here so no one touches any of the settings of the light. So that's good to see that they've provided a remote control, which is also another added bonus for the light, because being able to control it manually, especially if it's up on a boom arm or a big C stand, you don't want to have to go up and sort of control all the settings, change all the effects and do all that. You can just do that through the remote control. So with the actual reflector here, the Bowen's reflector, all you need to do is just make sure the lugs are slotted in correctly and twist to lock. This reflector here is a little bit more narrow, so it's a 55-degree reflector rather than a standard 60-degree reflector, and what that does is sort of narrow the light a little bit more and focus the light to give you a lot more output, which is why the 1 meter rating with the reflector is 17,000 lux and without it is 3,000 lux. So the fact that you're able to really concentrate your light there, it's great to be used as a spotlight if you're using this reflector, or you can change your light in so many different ways, whether you're using color gels, using a softbox, using the umbrella through that umbrella mount there, or a barn door, you can cut the light as well. It's great to see that you're able to use that all with this particular light, because there's so many people that have Bowen's modifiers available in their lighting kit, so you can cross that over with some of your other lights as well as this new X60. Besides that, that's the light in general. I quite like the light myself because of its size. It's a competitor to the Godox SL60 because of its size, as well as the added effects and the compatibility with the optional battery plate that they'll be releasing. I think that this light here sort of warrants the additional pricing that you'll be paying on top of the SL60, and it comes in that neat little bag, that carry case, all padded with this reflector, whereas the SL60 doesn't have a bag. So if you're comparing apples to apples, I think the X60 is worth its value. For more videos just like this, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. We unbox and review so many lights just like this, such as the aperture lights or Godox lights, so be sure to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to follow us on social media at Hypop, and visit our website, hypop.com.au. Thanks for watching.